Hi, JD here again. Apologies for the somewhat delay with another finance video. I've been struggling to think about a topic really. But before I go on to my video today, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who's supported the channel, everybody who's commented and subscribed, everybody who's emailed me. As at today, which is October the 24th, 2019, we're over 2,000 subscribers, so that's brilliant. I never thought I'd hit the 2,000 subscribers milestone. I know it's only a tiny channel, but it's quite a nice personal milestone to have met. Anyway, so what's this video about? Well, a lot of the content on this channel when I'm talking about car finance has been related to PCP, personal contract plan. I've done a video in the past, I think, on leasing, or what might be called personal contract hire, PCH, and that's what I want to do another video on today, because recently I was looking at my Facebook feed and an advert for, I don't know why, but an advert for leasing a VW Tiguan RLine Tech came on, and it seemed brilliant value. So I thought to myself, I wonder, just as a very quick video, let's compare how much it would cost to run a brand new Volkswagen Tiguan, in my case 2-litre TDI RLine Tech 4Motion, so it's 4-wheel drive DSG, so double shift gearbox or direct shift gearbox, something like that. Anyway, Volkswagen's twin clutch gearbox, and let's see how it compares between running it for 2 years on a lease or PCH versus running it on a PCP. Now I'm going to exclude things such as road tax, because the nice thing actually about a lease is usually the road tax is included throughout the period. PCP it isn't, but the advantages of PCP is that you can own the car at the end. But my argument today is how many of us actually do run a PCP. Firstly, how many of us run a PCP to the end of the term, certainly if it's a 4-year term, and how many of us at the end of that period go, yeah, do you know what, I'm going to keep this car, I'm going to buy it. So you could say that the argument for having a PCP is kind of diminishing in a way, because certainly from my experience, and it might not be always the case, but in my experience, the guaranteed future value is set so high, which is nice because it means your monthly payments are very low, or potentially, comparably low, but it means at the end there is no equity in that car. So basically, whatever deposit you put in, all your monthly payments, at the end of that PCP, you hand it back, or you might part exchange it for another car, and you're probably going to find that you're very, very close to what you owe on the agreement, so the guaranteed future value, so therefore you haven't got any equity. So I saw this advert for a lease, and I thought, do you know what, maybe leasing, certainly if you change your car very regularly and you want the peace of mind of a new car every 2 or 3 or 4 years, actually maybe leasing is a better way to go, certainly, as you'll see in a minute in the case of a Volkswagen Tiguan. And I quite like the new Tiguan actually. You get a massive spec, and as you'll see in a minute, it works out incredibly good value on a lease. What I would say about a lease is I'm only going to choose a bog standard. So I mean bog standard in terms of the R-Line spec, so there's not a lot of options you can have. But the disadvantage, and I think I talked about this in a previous video on leasing, is that any option that you spec on a leased car essentially gets added on to in its entirety into the monthly payment. And the shorter the lease term, that therefore means you've got less monthly payments until the end. That option, or any options that you add on, are going to make a substantial difference to your monthly payment. For example, in the case of a Tiguan, I've got a Tiguan here, look. So in the case of a Tiguan, if we go, whether I can show you this, let's see if I can go back to what I was doing earlier. The Volkswagen site was crashing earlier, which I thought was a bit irritating when I wanted to do a video on it. But essentially, ignore that, don't worry about that, but essentially metallic paint, for example, on a Tiguan is £620 option. So if you take metallic paint on a lease, it's going to cost you effectively, yeah, look, the website's not working. Well, what's going on with Volkswagen? Let me just There we go. So if I take metallic paint on a Tiguan, £620, and divide that by 24 payments effectively, if I can find my arrow, this is when leasing, in my opinion, gets quite expensive, because we go, okay, 620 divided by 24 months, £25.83. So effectively, just for having metallic paint, it's going to add £25 a month onto your lease if you do it over 2 years. Now, I want to do it over 2 years because I get bored with cars. So it's not so bad if you do it over 3 or 4 and you're prepared to keep the car, because remember, on a lease it's more difficult to get out of the agreement. You've got to really prepare to run it full term. But let's say, I don't know, Sat-Nav. Well, how much is, there's an enhanced Sat-Nav option on the Tiguan. Let's see, let's hope that the website will work. Let's just have a look how much, if we go to the configurator on this page, go to the Tiguan. We need to go through this anyway to get to the finance calculator. So I'm going to just configure this Tiguan. I'm just going to have a look how much a few of the options are. So let's just change the engine to the 2 litre TDI 4Motion, 150 brake. They do 190 as well. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for, right, here we go, look. So metallic paint, look, £620. So I'm just going to go for a standard colour, so it's not going to affect my lease price. But what I want to see is how much some other options are. Here we go. So let's say, okay, I want on my car, here we go, I want Discover Navigation Pro System with 9.2-inch colour touchscreen, whatever that is. I think, in all fairness, the standard Sat-Nav on the Tiguan is perfectly adequate. There are a few differences. I don't think you can use the Sat-Nav in the head, in kind of the main display where the dials are, and on the Sat-Nav unit, but you can with this option. But I've been reading a little bit about this, and people are saying actually it's not worth upgrading to. Let's see how much it would cost on a lease. So I'm going to spec £1,500 option just to have better Sat-Nav over 2 years, £62.50 a month. So that's where leasing can get out of hand, because it can make a massive difference to your monthly payment. And the advantage with a PCP is that there are certain options that will increase the guaranteed future value at the end. So for example, you know, when I had my Porsche Cayman brand new a few years ago, when I had a PDK, it was something like, I don't know, don't quote me, something like a £2,000 option, but it added probably over £1,000 to the final value. So you're not paying, yes, you're paying the interest on it, but you're not paying all of that option down in your monthly payments. With a lease you are. So what I'm going to assume is that we're just going to go for a bog standard spec with no options. Okay, so that's the car. I really quite like these, with the 20-inch wheels, and it's got panoramic roof, it's got auto tailgate, it's got radar cruise control, all sorts of things. Let's just go down to the finance calculator. So on a PCP, Volkswagen are currently offering £2,000 towards your deposit and a 4.9% APR. Now I'm assuming with this example that we're using kind of their quoted purchase price values. If you went to CarWow or Coast to Coast or Orange Wheels, wherever, you probably will find a much better purchase price. But I'm just using it in this example of whatever Volkswagen tell me on their site. So let's go to finance calculator. Now you're going to be surprised, I think, because I certainly was. If I go to a Tiguan lot, so we're going to go for PCP. Need to make sure we're on the right model. Oh, not there, we don't. We need to make sure we are on a RLine Tech, and we're going to make sure we're on an RLine Tech 150 brake DSG 2 litre TDI, and we'll do it on 10,000 miles a year. Now I was looking at 8,000 originally, but the lease calculator online, the company I've chosen for this example, only offers examples with 8,000. Sorry, I'll start again. The lease website lets you choose 8,000 miles. Volkswagen don't on this example, so we'll use 10,000 in both examples. So 10,000 miles a year. I only want to do it over 2 years because, you know, I want very low running costs in terms of maintenance. I'll probably have to service it once in that time. and that will be it. Let's have a look. Okay, so monthly payment £472.20. Volkswagen are giving us £2,000 deposit contribution. We've got to put in £8,768. Now the reason the PCP is quite expensive here is because look at the final value. Now 18,500 from a £38,000 purchase price, so it's less than 50% over 2 years. Now what does that mean? Does that mean there's going to be some equity in there? I still very much doubt it. In 2 years time, what are you going to get for one of these on a trade-in? You might get a bit more than 18.5. They might have set it pretty low, but I bet you wouldn't get much. You certainly wouldn't get your £8,768 deposit back. So watch when I go over to a lease. Now the company I've chosen today is one that just came up on CarWow. Other leasing companies are out there. I'm not affiliated with these at all, but this was called bluechillicars.com. I was also looking at some others. There's one called Yes, I think, YSS, something like that. But have a look on CarWow and it will bring up loads of different leasing companies. Now watch this. Okay, personal, 10,000 miles a year, same car look, 2 litre TDI 154 Motion RLine Tech 5W DSG, 24 months. Now with a lease, you usually quote in terms of how much initial rental, which is kind of multiples of your standard monthly payment, followed by so many equal monthly payments. So this is a 24-month contract length, and it would probably referred to as a 23 plus 3. So that basically means 23 equal payments and an initial rental of 3 monthly payments. The monthly payment look is coming out at £379.45, and our initial rental is 3 times that, so £1,138.35, and yes, there's a £360 admin fee. Okay, £379.45. So watch this. Let's put in this amount as the deposit on the PCP, and to be fair, I'll also add on the £360 admin fee. So that means our total deposit needs to be 1,138.65 plus 360. So 1498.65 is kind of our initial outlay on this lease. So let's go back to PCP at Volkswagen and go, right, my deposit is going to be 1498.65. Get ready for this, folks. 24 payments, so it's going to be 23 payments plus our initial. The lease, 14, whatever we said, 68.35. So that's 3 initial monthly payments plus our £360 admin fee, gave us a monthly amount of £379.45. Look what it would cost on a PCP. £803.36. Wow, that's the same car, that's exactly the same initial outlay and exactly the same miles. The excess mileage is 7 pence. I think it's the same on the lease, 7 point something. So how much, let's assume that we don't have any charges at the end, so we take good care of the car and we don't go over our agreed mileage. The PCP is going to cost us 23 times £803.36 plus our initial deposit of 1498.65. Over 2 years, that Tiguan is going to cost us £25 shy of £20,000, £19,975.93. And yes, at the end, you might have a little bit of equity. You know, you could trade it in, buy another one, etc. So you might have your deposit for the next one. But in essence, it's costing us nearly 20 grand. And then after 2 years, we want to get rid of the car. Look how much it's going to cost us on the lease. It was 379.45 times 23. 379.45 times 23 plus our initial outlay was 149,865. 10,226. Almost 50% cheaper to run a brand new Volkswagen Tiguan, top of the range, yes with no options, but you don't really need many options. It's going to cost us almost 50% less, and at the end of the 2 years you just give it back and start again. Pretty much that's what, let's be honest, that's what we do with a PCP. And if we've got any equity in that car, we're going to be very lucky. You might have £500. Let's play the benefit of the doubt. Let's say you've got £2,000 equity in that car, which I think would be unlikely. It's still costing us what, £8,000 more? So if I was looking at a decent family SUV, brand new, on a 2-year term, I would definitely go for a lease if I didn't want any options. Like I say, it's not always going to work, but in this case, what a bargain that car is for £379 with only £1,400 in. I hope that was interesting, hope that was useful. Sorry there's been such a delay. Please comment and subscribe. Please email me if you want to find out how you can get a copy of the spreadsheet. I'll put a link up to that here as well, so there's an explanatory video on that. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.